So as I continue to narrow down my ideas on what I think the daemon is, I'm being led to some authors and some thinkers that I'm finding very helpful along those lines. One of them is Henri Corbin, and he was a French scholar of Sufism, of Islamic mysticism, and he is his writing is some of the densest I've ever encountered. It is really hard to dissect. It's some of the most difficult, challenging reading I've ever done, and so helping me kind of dive into that is Tom Cheetham. And Tom Cheetham is someone, he's an author who's just kind of taken it on himself to introduce the ideas of Corbin to the wider public. And so his writing on Corbin's writing is kind of the way I'm having to get there right now. And I'm not sure if this phrase is Corbin's or if it's Cheetham's, but the phrase that I've really kind of latched onto and that's really captured my imagination is a phrase, the angel out ahead. And so the idea here is this angel, and it reminds me of this Kabbalistic idea that every blade of grass has an angel above it encouraging it to grow, saying grow, grow, grow. And that's kind of the idea of the angel out ahead. There's this angel ahead of us that's beckoning us on towards our development. And to me, that's what the daemon is. It's this force, internal, external, that's encouraging you to grow and become your realized self, to match your potential. And as I think about it that way, it's led me to kind of look at the daemon a little bit differently, and led me to the thought that the daemon needs us just as much as we need it. And that's a very Corbin-esque idea, I think. And so again, sometimes I'll say stuff and I don't know if it's Corbin or Cheetham, if it was something he's bringing over from Corbin or if he's expanding on it. But he talks about, Cheetham's very also into Jung, and he talks about individuation. This, Jung's idea of the way we become, the process through which we become our true self. And he says individuation isn't just for us, it's also for our angel, or our daemon. And so that could be a very confusing idea. Like, what does that mean? How could individuation be for our angel? And that's what led me to the angel needs us, the daemon needs us just as much as we need it. So our daemon is the realized version of us. It's all of our potential. It's all the things we could be, kind of like wrapped into this ball, and it's beckoning us like, hey, come become this, come become everything you could be. But the one thing the angel is not, the daemon is not, that we are, is incarnated. It doesn't have a body. It doesn't exist in this material world. And so it's not just that we're moving towards the daemon's moving in this direction. And so we're moving towards, I think we and our daemon are moving towards the same spot. And it's this central location where it gets to become incarnated and we get to become realized. And so that's why I think the daemon needs us. And so that could be a little bit confusing, this moving one point towards the other and meeting in the middle. That implies a final destination, that when we and the daemon meet, then that's it. We've individuated fully. And I think Jung was of the opinion that individuation doesn't end. And I think Corbin's of the opinion that there's no resting point. We don't become this fully realized version of ourselves and then we're done. The angel and that potential, that goes on forever. Like, you can get to a point to where you have really good communication, you have a good relationship with your daemon, but that doesn't mean you're at the end. That daemon keeps saying, well, what if we become this? What if we become this? What if we become this? And in the Cheetham book that I'm reading, he actually says even God has an angel. Even God has a daemon. So God is this limitless, has the opportunity for limitless potential. God isn't fixed. God isn't one thing and will always be one thing. God can continue to expand and grow, and we can continue to expand and grow. And so if you're looking for this final destination of growth, that might be, you might be like, oh man, but I think I choose to find it really encouraging to know that even when we've achieved some point that feels like, finally, there's more, that we can become more. And that's, in that way, we are partnering with the Daemon, partnering with God, and we're creating this world. And the act of creation never stops. It goes on and on and on. And so, as I say this, I realize I'm talking about the Daemon very differently than I have in the past. In the past, it's been like, I don't know what it is. Is it this? Is it that? And I mentioned in the last video, I have made contact with my Daemon. We're starting to build a relationship, and because of that, I feel like I have a little bit more clarity on. Well, that sounds wrong. I don't have clarity on what the Daemon is, but I have clarity on how I'm currently interacting with it, and so that feels really good. This is something that 2 years ago, when I made the very first one of these videos, I was like, I really, I need this thing, and now I have it, and I'm having regular interactions with this realized part of myself, and then finding out that it needs me, something from me, is really encouraging too. So anyway, that's what this video is about. The Daemon needs us just as much as we need it. If you want to do some reading on this stuff, by all means, if you're smarter than I am, and I assume most of you are, dive into Corbin. You'll probably flow with it with ease. But if not, if you're kind of dumb like I am, start with Tom Cheetham. Not that, and he's great. He's super intelligent, but he has a gift for translating this really dense material in a way that people like I can understand it. But anyway, Tom Cheetham, Henri Corbin, look those up. Talk to you guys soon, okay?